What is up, guys? Welcome to our channel. I'm Sanat Kumar from simplefxonline.com. And on today's video, guys, we're going to be taking a look at three best cryptocurrencies which you can buy that are currently trading below $1. So, just by the title, guys, I'm pretty sure you know what the entire motto of this video is, right? Like, basically, we are trying to find coins that are ideally going to outperform the market returns by a huge margin. And since this is the crypto space we are talking about, there are a lot of variables as well. So understand the fact that you need to put in only the kind of amount you are comfortable losing, and the whole scenario with this is to create a lump sum amount with buy and hold strategy. But the only difference is that there is no guarantees being made, so you need to be very risk conservative. And given the kind of wild west nature which we have seen in this sector, I wouldn't be surprised even if we outperform the market by a ridiculously insane amount of margin, because that is the kind of cash inflow or the capital inflow that is occurring right now. So let us take a look at the best three cryptocurrencies under $1 one by one, and let us see which has got the most potential. So okay, guys, the first one on the list is obviously crypto.com coin, or CRO. And as you might have already known, guys, there is a short brief about this coin you need to understand, which is, unlike many other altcoins, even though they claim to be associated with NFT in one way, this coin has got ton of potential, because that is where they're focusing their intention on. And given the fact that it has got crypto.com branding, it certainly has a long way to go, and that is something you can be sure about. So now let us take a look at the chart so that you can understand the things in much better practical manner. CRO USD, as you can see right now, guys, is in a downtrend, which is expected because obviously all the hype around this coin is almost dead. So this right now is the best time to stack the buy orders. And as you can see, the trend is clearly broken on the long term time frame as well. So this is how it looks like on the daily time frame. And since the trend is so huge, and since the Bollinger Bands are so wide, and like even if you apply them, that is how they're going to be, it means the price has a long way towards finding equilibrium zone. So what I would suggest is to wait around and wait for the current price action levels to find a solid support, which I think would be ideally around the 20 cents mark, because since this trend is already broken, the only thing left for us to do is just keep on dollar cost averaging our entry, and the floor of this trade is around 25 cents, which is the previous support zone, and that is the one which is statistically more likely to hold, because that is where most of the market maker orders are going to be sitting, right? So on the weekly time frame, you can clearly see why I suggested this level, because that is the one that is going to resonate the most. And just like I said, guys, obviously the swings are going to be huge, but even if you hold it for 2 to 3 years, and ideally if you get your entry below 30 cents, then it is going to be a remarkable investment, because even if we just reach the all-time highs of say $1, that is going to be like what, 174% returns, and that is just like doubling the funds, right? So obviously the range is huge, and at the same time, just like the risk, the rewards are even more insane. So to kind of sum up on this asset class, anywhere between 30 to 20 cents is the major stacking zone. And as far as the target is considered, obviously you need to take something off the table once it doubles or triples your capital amount. But since this all comes down to market cap, I would suggest you to get out of the trade, or at least liquidate some of your funds to pay yourself when it reaches 4 or 5 times your investment amount. So given the time horizon of around, I would say, 2 to 3 years, that kind of returns is not bad at all, especially if you compare them to the traditional alternatives. Secondly, guys, Hydra, which is also known as Edge Bar, is a blockchain project that caught my eye. And basically, guys, the entire idea is around the revolution of dabs, and the unique or the intrinsic advantage of this coin is that it has got ton of market capitalization. So a lot of big things are going on with it, obviously an exciting venture. And since this is a new project, it is trading for pennies on the dollar, so a great investment to make. And if we focus on the charts, guys, this is how the weekly time frame looks like. So from the initial lows of early 2021, you can clearly see the breakout, and the chances of this getting breached is almost impossible. So from the previous level, guys, the price right now touched the 200-day moving average. So that is a very healthy sign because it shows that the asset isn't crazily overvalued or anything, and at the same time, from the all-time highs, it is almost like what? Down by 40%. So certainly something that needs to be on your radar. And Edera, guys, specifically is still in a bit of a downtrend. And if you check out any of the momentums on the lower time frames, such as the daily or the 4 hour, you can clearly see that the trend line touches are suggesting that there is still bearish amount of momentum. So if you are holding it for long term, then this wouldn't matter. But if you like to get better prices or get better entry, then I would suggest you to wait a bit longer because obviously it is bound to retest the support region, and once it does that or dips below 30 cents, it is going to be huge accumulation zone. And here also the ceiling is around 18 cents. So even from this mark, guys, the upside is crazy huge, and making 2 to 3 times the capital amount comes relatively easy. But as we are talking about buying and holding it for long term, I would suggest you to wait for at least 3 times your money because at least that justifies the risk involved, right? So as price moves in your favor, liquidate some, but definitely as soon as the position becomes risk neutral, leave something on the table for the long run because that is where the real compounding is done. And guys, obviously, when we are talking about cryptocurrencies less than $1, we can't skip Shiba Inu, right? So this meme coin doesn't require any introduction, and this is how it looks on the weekly time frame. So a massive rally and a sell-off. So from the all-time highs, it is down by like what 64%. So that is a good sign. And the tricky part of this asset class is that on the macro level, there is nothing driving on, but still, I decided to include it on the list because it adds up, guys. Like, obviously, we are all throwing darts in the dark, right, with this early coin. So, given how volatile this asset is, even if it touches the all time highs again, it would be like an easy 2 times or 200% returns, right? Even if you get right in at around 0.00003 to 0.4078, it would be like 1.7 into 100, like 170%, right? So that is pretty good. And just look at the macro support and resistance zone, guys. Like when it comes to trading, obviously the longer time frames are the best ones to watch out for. And once you have marked out the zones, I would say that you need to expect the swings to touch as low as 0.40 and 2. So that is like around 5% from the current price action. But as soon as it does that, obviously it is gearing up for a new wave higher, and on the lower term time frame that becomes very apparent. So this zone right here is a very good accumulation point, and the upside is really huge, especially given how cheap this coin is. So worth a follow, guys. Basically that sums up today's video, and just like I mentioned, guys, all these are long term plays, and this ride is certainly not for the faint hearted. So do what you will with this information, and let me know what you guys think about it. As usual, guys, to get all the latest updates in the market, subscribe to our channel. If you have any questions or need any assistance, feel free to email me anytime. That's a wrap, guys. See you on the next one.